Okay, so we have here p plus 8 multiplied by quantity p plus 20. So that's going to give us p times p, so it's going to give us p squared. And 8p plus 20p, so it's going to give us 28p. And 20 times 8, that's simply 160. And that's going to be p squared. Okay, so 10p plus 17p, that's going to be 27p. And then 10 times 17, so it's going to be 170. So solving for the value of p, we have here p squared and p squared will cancel out. And this will give us 28p. Okay, minus 27p is going to be equal to 170 minus 160. And therefore, p is equal to 10. Okay, so there you go. That's simple. Okay, so to solve for the value of hv, so that's going to be p plus 8. And what's p plus 8? So that's simply going to be 10 plus 8. Okay, and it's going to be 18 decimeters. Okay, so the value of HB is 18 decimeters. How about HB? Okay, so HB is going to be equal to P plus 10. And again, 10 is P is equal to 10. So therefore, the value of HB will become 20 decimeters. Okay, so that's simple. Okay, so let's move forward to our next question. Question 7. So we have here, Rogue wants to build a spaceship reminiscent of the Falcon in Star Wars, but on his spaceship is mounted on a triangle section for the base of the operations. This one, the triangle CWB. Okay, so given the rough outline of the spaceship on the right, so find the value of K. Okay, so we need to find the value of K and the value of SC. Okay, so what is the value of SC? Okay, so to solve for this problem, again, we're going to use the secant. Okay, the secant power theorem. So this is going to be CB multiplied by CB plus SC. SC is going to be equal to WB multiplied by the sum of these two segments that we have here, WB plus PW. Okay, so what's the value of CB? Let's write it here. So it's going to be K plus 7 multiplied by CB. Okay, again, so CB is equal to K plus 7 plus SC, so that's 2K minus 1. And it's going to be equal to WB, which is equal to 18, multiplied by 18 plus PW, which is equal to 4K plus 9. And what we can do here, we can simplify the terms that we have here inside of the parentheses. So we have here K plus 7 multiplied by, okay, so K plus 2K, so it's going to give us 3K. And then 7 minus 1, so that's going to give us positive 6. It's going to be equal to 18. Okay, so from here, okay, wait, we can still simplify this one. 18 plus 9, so that's going to give us 27. Okay, and then we have here 4K, so 4K plus 27. So from here, guys, we can distribute this one. Okay, 18 times 4. So that's going to give us 72K. Okay, 72K plus, okay, 18 times 27 is going to give us 486. It's going to be equal to, okay, 3K times K, that's 3K squared. And then 7 times 3K, so it's going to be 21K. And then 6 times K, so that's going to be 6. So 21 plus 6, that's 27. So 27K plus 7 times 6. So what's 7 times 6? That's simply equal to 42. Okay, so from here, guys, we can see that we can equate these two terms that we have here on the left and on the right. So we can transfer 72K here and 486 here so that we can equate it to 0 and find the value of K using the quadratic equation. So we have here 3K squared, okay, plus 27K minus 72K plus 42 minus 486. And roughly that's going to give us, okay, 3K squared. Okay, so 27 minus 72, that's going to give us negative 45K. And then 42 minus 486, that's going to give us negative 444. Okay, negative 444, it's going to be equal to 0. And again, guys, we can use our calculator, or you can use Symbolab, or you can use Math Solver MS on your web, on the web to find the value using the quadratic equation. But for this one, we're going traditional, so we're going to use our calculator. So we have here mode, 5 equations, number 3. We have here our first coefficient, letter A is 3, letter B is negative 45, and letter C is equal to negative 444. So A is 3, B is negative 45, and C is negative 444. So let's check. Okay, so the value of A is going to be equal to, K sub 1 rather. So that's 21.79, and K sub 2 will be equal to negative 6.79. And again, we cannot take a negative value for K. Okay, so we cannot take a negative value for this one, for K, because this here will be negative. Okay, so therefore, the value of K will be 21.79. And from here, guys, since we now solve the value of K, so that's 21.79 decameters. Okay, so DKM. So to solve for the value of SC, so SC is going to be equal to 2K minus 1. And we know that the value of K is equal to 21.79. And then minus 1. Okay, so 2 times 21.79, that's going to give us 43.58, and minus 1, that's going to give us 42.58. Okay, so the value of SC is 42.58 decameters. Okay, so the symbol for that is DKM, or it could be DCM also. So there you go, 48.58 decameters. So that's the measurement before kilometers. Okay, so it's quite big. Okay, so it's kind of like a very big spaceship, okay, that Rogue will build. Okay, so there you go. The measurement of SC is 42.58 decameters. Okay, so moving forward, we have here number 8. Mikhail hopes to create a solar-friendly umbrella. Okay, wow, that can harness the power of the sun every time it is opened and stores energy for energy consumption on far-flung areas. Okay, so that's a very nice invention in the future. So the rough blueprint of the innovative umbrella design is given on the image on the right. Find the value of A. We need to solve the value of this one, and the measurement of side KI. Okay, so what we have here, guys, we don't have secants. Okay, so guys, again, secants are lines that go beyond the circle. Okay, so they go outside of the circle. What we have here, guys, are not secants, but what we have here are chords. Okay, so chords only stay within the circle, within the circumference. So we have here two chords. We have here OM and KI. Okay, and we know that the value of OM is 8 plus A plus 5, and KI is A plus 9 plus 6, and they intersect at point G. Okay, so how do we solve for the value of KI? For this one, for KI in centimeters. Okay, so this is for the umbrella. So to do this, okay, so let's try to remember the formulas and the theorems that we have. Okay, so if it's a chord, if it's a chord power theorem problem, then most likely we're going to take the smaller segments that we have here, okay, on the segments, okay, on the image here. So we have here OG multiplied by GM. Those are the two smaller segments that we can equate to the other chord that we have here. So that's going to be IG multiplied by KG. Okay, there you go. And then we have our formula here for the chord power theorem. And from here, we can solve for the value of Kg. Okay, but first, we need to find the value of A. So what is the value of A? So to do so, we just simply substitute the formulas that we have here. Okay, so that's going to be, okay, so what's the value of A? So it's going to be OG is 8, and GM is equal to A plus 5. Okay, A plus 5, so it's going to be equal to IG. Okay, so IG is equal to 6, and KG is equal to A plus 9. Okay, so simply distribute 8 on this one. So this is going to be 8A plus 40 is equal to 6A plus 9 times 6, so that's going to give us 54. Okay, and then 8A minus 6A, so that's going to give us 54 minus 40. And what's 8A minus 6A? So that's simply equal to 2A. 2A is equal to 14. Divide both sides by 2. We're going to get that the value of A is equal to, okay, 14 divided by 2. Okay, so 14 divided by 2 is simply equal to 7. So that's the value of A. Okay, so we now solve for the value of A. Okay, so what's the label here? Okay, so our unit measurement is centimeters. So to solve for the value of Ki, since Ki is equal to A plus 9 plus 6, and we know that the value of A is equal to 7, so this is going to give us Ki is equal to 7 plus 9 plus 6. And 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 7. That's going to give us 22 centimeters. So therefore, on this specific umbrella, Ki is equal to 22 centimeters or centimeters. Okay, very good. Okay, so last problem. We have here Kim Gabrielle would like to create a pill that can cure a respiratory tract illness caused by an influenza with a simple tablet shown here on the right. So the tablet is shaped like a circle, and we have here two chords FM. Okay, we have here two chords FM and RO. And we're also given the smaller segments because they intersect, the two chords intersect at point V. Okay, so therefore, again, using the chord power theorem, we can solve for the value of B and get the measurement of FM and OR respectively. Okay, so we can now get the values of FN and OR respectively using our chord power theorem formula. So this is going to be equal to FV times VM is equal to OV multiplied by VR. And we know that the value of FV is B plus 4 and VM is equal to B plus 3. We multiply these two binomials and we get we equate it to OV, which is equal to 16, and VR, which is simply equal to 20. Okay, so B plus 4 times B plus 3, so we have here two binomials. When we multiply them, we're going to get B squared plus 7B plus 12. So this is going to be equal to 16 times 20, and 16 times 20 is simply equal to 320. And from here we can transpose 320 to the other side. So we have here B squared plus 7B plus 12 minus 320. So that's negative. So that's going to be negative 308 is equal to 0. Solving for the value of B, we have here coefficients 1, 7, and negative 308. Again, we can use our calculator to solve for this one. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 7, and C is equal to negative 308. So therefore the value of the first B sub 1 is equal to 14.40, and B sub 2 is equal to negative 21.40. Negative 21.40. And again, since we cannot take a negative value for our segments here, therefore the value of B is going to be equal to 14.40 millimeters. So to solve for the value of FM, so FM is going to be equal to B plus 4 plus B plus 3. And we know that the value of B is equal to 21.40. So let's just multiply that to 2 plus 7. So 21.40 times 2, so that's 42.8 plus 7. So therefore the value of FM is equal to 49.8 millimeters. So there you go. And OR, so for OR we simply add 16 and 20. So therefore the value of OR is 36 millimeters. And therefore we have solved the problem about the tablet for a respiratory illness infection. So that's it. So that's it for module 4 for angles and sides determined by chords, secants, and tangents of a circle. Our final lesson for the 4th quarter will be given on our next video. So that will be on sectors, segments, and the graph of a circle.